What's up? What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the What Up Though Show. It's your boy Dame D, and we are back. We are back talking about the Texas flooding. I'm gonna wait for a few people to come in before I start chopping it up. Before I actually start doing my commentary on this flooding and start showing videos of the latest of what's been going on out there in Texas. So, just want to say good morning and what's up to everybody out there. Your boy is checking in early. Happy Tuesday to everybody out there. We up early at it this morning. You know what I mean? Up and early. I told you guys we were going to be doing a lot more live shows, meaning that, my internet is up and going. But, I want to just touch bases, on this Texas flooding for a second. So, like I said, I'm going to wait for a few people to chime in before I actually go in and start showing, before I start talking about it, but I will queue up some of the things that's actually going on out there, some of the flooding, so you guys can actually see. But let me check my audio and make sure you guys can hear me clear. So give me 1 second. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, so I can be heard. All right, so we are good. So yeah, I'm just gonna get to some of the share my screen for a second, get some of some get to some of the live videos so you guys can see. Oh, what the hell? My bad. I don't know what I did. Let me get out of there. Hold on, hold on. You know what? I actually got to go to that. Let me find that. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm messing up. Okay, here we go. Texas flooding. That's what I'm trying to look up. Okay, here's some of the stuff that I'm trying to look up. All right, here we go. So yeah, this is some of the stuff I wanted to show you guys. Here we go. This is some of the videos that they've been showing of how quick the flood has been getting, and like pretty much it's crazy what's been going on out there. So yeah, I just want to come back and do a little bit more updating on this Texas flooding. You still had over 100 people that died. Still a lot of people that's unaccounted for. And wow, this is a massive flood. Hopefully, well, let me make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Give me 1 second. Yeah, you are not. So sorry about that. Let me clear this off the screen. I don't know what's going on. Stop sharing. So I got to file. Okay, sorry about that. Let me get back to the actual screen. Okay, here's a video of the latest of the flooding that's going on out there. Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, so I got a few people watching. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm just checking back in from yesterday. I just wanted to show you guys some of the footage from out there in Texas, some of the flooding, some of the videos that's been coming back in. It's definitely an ongoing situation, bad weather that's going to be coming in this weekend. So um, these are some of the newest videos that's been sent in. And this is live coverage out in Texas. So it's definitely these people need definitely going to need help. Hopefully, the government has sent the assistance that these people are going to need out there. So give me your comments on this flood. Tell me what you think about this horrible flooding out in Texas. Like I said, it's been over 100 people that has lost their life due to this flood. And a lot more people that's out there that's missing out there. So the chat is open. Let me know what you guys think about this flooding. What would you do in this situation if you were out there? Luckily this event has happened in the I'm not gonna say luckily, but this has happened out in the I'm gonna say the country part of wow, of Texas. I'm glad that it wasn't like in the rural areas or the city, I should say. And hopefully it doesn't reach to the city. But the way this going, it just may. So the chat is open. I need for you guys to give me your comments. Tell me what you think about this flood. If you're out there, let me know. How has it devastated you and your family? And this just should be more of a reason for people to make sure that they have flood insurance and some type of life insurance, flood insurance, all type of things. So that has ended. So I'm going to get out of that for a second. Okay, so yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think about this flooding situation. I'm going to stay updated, keep you guys updated on this situation all day long. I'm going to be checking in, just keeping everybody updated on the situation. It's definitely been a tragic situation. It's been reported like over 104 people have lost their lives due to this flooding. And many more people are reported missing. So give me a second, I have to turn something off. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I just want to check in for a little bit and see what was going on out there. We're definitely going to get back to the live coverage out there, because I'm very interested in seeing, how what type of role the government is going to play, in this, because right now it's pretty much nothing they can do until this flood subsides. Pretty much it's just looking for survivors and just searching and trying to find people at this point. You know what I mean? So definitely if you want to help, look into some reputable sources that your money or your help will definitely go to. Watch out for the scams and the people that's being dishonest out here trying to make a dollar off the victims of this flood. Yeah, so if any one of you guys are out there in Texas, comment below. Let me know how this has affected you and your family. And for the people that may that's probably going on vacation or was going to be heading out towards that Texas way, you may want to reconsider, going anywhere out that way. So I'm gonna go and look and see what more have they put up out there. You know, um, okay, here we go. Here's a little bit more live coverage. Okay, so give me a second. I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can see it. Here we
and
go.
one counselor are still unaccounted for. We know at least 27 campers and counselors have died, and Camp Mystic is an all-girls Christian camp located on the banks of the Guadalupe River. 750 young girls and counselors were there before the flooding swept through the area, and many agencies are involved in the ongoing ground and air search for missing people in Texas. Officials said more than 850 people had been rescued, and Senator Ted Cruz says for now the focus remains on search and rescue, but in the coming weeks and months, he said he hopes to take a look at the timeline of exactly what happened and when warnings went out to see if something could have been done better. New Jersey native and U.S. Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin is among the first responders who helped save 165
how can you
people
really
at
respond
Camp
to,
The real heroes, I think, were the
something
kids
like
on the
this?
ground. Like, those guys are heroic, and
Besides,
they were dealing with
get
some of the
out of
worst
the
times of their
area,
lives, and they were staying
just
strong, and
leave.
that helped inspire me to kind of get in there and help them out.
And President Trump is expected to visit Texas on Friday to take a look at the damage. Back to you.
Jaysha, thank you. While the search for any possible survivors continues, there are questions about whether more could have been done to alert people on what was happening. ABC's Matt Gutman is
I
on the
agree with
ground
that.
in Kerrville, Texas.
There's probably could have been more done, more done to alert people about the situation. But what more could the government have done besides, try to alert people? But you always have people that want to stay and not leave.
In Ingram, Texas, and he was roused from his bed at around 4:30 a.m. He did not hear the emergency alert. It was the fire department that woke him up. And we've heard so many of those stories that people were woken up by their neighbors, by the police, by the fire department that they did not hear, or maybe they didn't have reception on their phones, the emergency alert. And so many questions are being presented to local government and state government. What happened here? Could more have been done?
Could more have been done? That is the absolute question. Our thanks to Matt Gutman for that. Rescuers are going to continue searching through the debris, so be sure to stay with Eyewitness News and ABC News as we get any new updates. We'll share them with you.
All righty, so I'm going to come out of that for a second. So
these glasses destroyed a multi-billion-dollar industry. Don't risk straining your eyes or wasting money on outdated prescription glasses.
Okay, so I'll turn that down until that comes back up. But yeah, the question is now that the flood is here and it's devastated the people out in Texas. The people want to know what more could the government has done to to warn the people. I'm not going to say they could have done more, but I'm quite sure that they warned people and put out warnings that, this flood was getting ready to come in. So, it was up to the people to be able to get out. I'm quite sure, they probably could have made it like to the point where they force people to leave their homes and leave the area, but a lot of people, when they do give out these warnings, do not believe that, certain storms or things are going to happen, so a lot of people still stay behind, so my question is, do you blame the government or do you blame the people that actually stay behind trying to ride out the storm? Because you do have a lot of people that do not want to leave their homes due to, you know, people robbing and looting situations when they hear about, things like this that happen, you know. But in situations like this, when the government warns you about certain things that's getting ready to come in, like floods like this, you better beware and pack up and get your family up out of there, because there's more bad weather to come this weekend. So I need you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Tell me what you think about the situation. Do you think the government is at fault for not warning the people in time enough? When this flood came in, so those are the talks that they're talking about now. You know what I mean? So give me your opinion on the situation. Do you think they could have did a better job on warning the people? Or if they did their job already at warning the people, so who do you blame for this? Because in situations like this, national disasters, you can't really blame anyone for a national disaster, a natural disaster, I should say. You know what I mean? For floodings and things like that. Unless it was a dam break. Then you may be able to blame someone. But in situations like that, you really can't blame no one. Because like I said, this is a natural disaster. That happens. Often. No, I'm not going to say often, but it happens. Especially in areas where there's frequent flooding. You know what I mean? So it's up to people to take heed and follow the warning signs, and listen to the government in situations like that. That's why we have weather channels and advisories and things like that set in place for people to be able to follow, or yeah, to be able to follow as a as a security rule. So people do need better, like the one people that were caught out, they didn't hear the sirens. They woke up to shit, their house floating down the goddamn road, so maybe the government could have did a better job at making sure that, in certain areas, even in my area, they do test on the alarms, so maybe they could have did a better job at testing the alarms, the national broadcast system, in those areas, things like that, but I guarantee you they'll make sure that those things are working going after the rebuilding stage and all that stuff is once they start doing the cleanup and the rebuilding, because right now only thing they're doing, only thing that they can do is just rescue and try to save people. So I'm gonna go back and see what live coverage that's going on, if any. It's 104 so far has been reported dead. So
Bonnie, she's in Washington. There's how much money.
Tonight, the desperate search and recovery for survivors in Central Texas. By air, foot, and water going through the mangled wreckage left in the wake of that fatal flash flood.
We remain hopeful every foot, every mile, every bend of the river.
Oh my God! But the clock is ticking. Search efforts entering their fourth day after torrential
I just want to show you guys some of the coverage that's been coming in from out of there, things that you may have not saw.
Water rose so quick.
Wow, this is crazy. How do you survive this if you don't have a motherfucking boat?
It's real hard not to feel bad because I know some of these people.
Dozens of people still missing, at least 105 people dead, more than 1,000 people have been rescued. In debris fields like this, there are dozens of workers. You can see them scattered. There are debris piles like this extending for dozens of miles down the Guadalupe River.
Wow.
And among the dead, at least 27 children from one summer camp, the beloved Camp Mystic.
These are babies that were lost.
I agree in situations where there should have been more warning signs as far as like, for the people that had the kids in these camps, those that should have been
heroism.
Those kids should have been immediately taken out of these camps, and parents should have been called to pick their kids up before the flood
questions
came in.
About emergency warnings. Could more lives have been
this?
saved in the second deadliest flood in Texas history?
We know we get rains. We know the river rises, but nobody saw this coming.
Right.
Texas Hill Country, known for its majestic beauty, has been home to several summer camps for generations. But it's also been dubbed Flash Flood Alley.
This area of Texas is called Flash Flood Alley because of its steep terrain, its shallow soil, and the numerous high-intensity rainfall events that happen, especially because of its proximity to the Gulf and getting moisture even from the Pacific.
At the epicenter of these deadly floods, Camp Mystic. It's a Christian girls' camp near Hunt, Texas, where 750 campers spent the night into July 4th. Several campers and a counselor are still missing.
It was just a normal day. The day before, like nobody had any idea what was going to happen.
Camp nurse Devin Williams filming the day's festivities before tragedy struck, staff entertaining campers in the dining hall, games being played on the lawn outside. Caroline Catrona was a counselor at the camp's nearby Cypress Lake, 9 minutes from the Guadalupe River, where she was also previously a camper for 7 years. Never would she have thought the sanctuary for so many girls would be destroyed.
We went to bed. Thunder came in around midnight. I woke up about every hour looking at the clock and just watching the night go on. And I was like, wow, it's still storming. It's still storming. It's still storming.
At 3:35 a.m., the National Weather Service upgrading a previous flash flood warning, urging people to move to higher ground now. But Caroline, like so many others, didn't get that notification.
We turn in our phones, so none of us had our phones, because that's just what all camps do anywhere. That's part of the reason I wanted to go.
Had
You
their
don't have your
phones
phone.
and should have.
It was sometime between 4 and 6 a.m. when the nearby Guadalupe River surged, rising 26 feet in less than an hour.
In the atmosphere, you had this really slow moving system that's just circulating and barely moving. On top of that, you added moisture from 3 distinct places. So that's like turning on 3 faucets into a kiddie pool and just letting them pour and pour and pour.
This time-lapse video showing just how fast another nearby river rose hours later. Houses washed away.
Houses washed away.
Bridges severely damaged. Trees snapped in half. Many toppled. And homes left in the middle of the
and it's
road.
beautiful to live out in areas like that until these
Muddy
storms like this happen. And I'm not going to say I don't blame people for wanting to, get close and live by the water, but you gotta when you take risks. Living by the water, those are risks. I should say that you take living by the
Devin
water.
and the surviving campers
So you definitely have to have flood insurance.
Oh my God.
Those surviving girls singing.
In a damn boat
As
nearby.
they passed through miles of shredded countryside, past the trees that were smashed and the SUVs piled up like toys.
Probably the most dangerous.
Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin telling our David Muir what he witnessed when he landed at that camp. The crew decided Scott would have to stay on the ground with the children.
Is going to be
it would allow them to get more out. He ended up rescuing 165 people.
If you stayed on scene, it would give him a little more space in the helicopter.
Yeah, we assumed that, based on weight, we could probably take 2 more kids every trip.
So they got to work. The children, some just 7 and 8 years old, looking to Scott for answers.
Primary, just asking about their friends. They wanted to see if I knew anything about their friends, show me pictures, do whatever they could to try to find their friends. And I just told them, I was like, hey guys, like, I don't know where they are. We have every crew we can possibly imagine.
At one point, you were carrying 2 girls in one arm.
Yeah, it was 1 in each arm. But yeah,
the comment section is open. Give me your opinions on what you think about this flood. Could the government have done more?
Camp Mystic has a storied history. Famous alums include Laura Bush, who worked as a counselor, and the daughters of Lady Bird Johnson.
And this is what they're talking
According
about
to the group's website,
about these kids that were at this camp,
campers are encouraged to develop friendships and learn life
skills. A lot of
skills.
kids lost their lives, that day.
The best place ever.
There could have been
you
more
have zero
warning,
worries there.
they could have did more for the citizens of
Now
that time,
Caroline
warn them
and the
about this
community
flood
are
that was
mourning their own,
getting ready to come in.
praying for those missing. The families of twin sisters Hannah and Rebecca Lawrence saying in a statement, Hannah and Rebecca gave their parents John and Lacey and sister Harper and all in our family so much joy. They and that joy can never be forgotten. The father of Kellyanne Lytle, who is still missing, releasing this video of her singing The Reindeer Rock at a recent Christmas pageant.
What do all the reindeer do?
Say goodbye to expensive scratch repairs once
I'm
and for
gonna
all.
go ahead and
I never post stuff like this, but I had to share.
turn that
I
down.
drive every day, so I've spent
But yeah,
thousands on keeping my car looking good
just
over
a
the
sad
years.
situation.
For years, I paid
I
over
don't know
$200 for professional detailing every month until I realized what those scratches were really costing me. Every time I thought my car looked
Texas,
perfect, within
about this
weeks it looked
flooding,
terrible
because they
again.
were
New swirl
warned,
marks,
there was
scratches,
coverage
that dull,
about that,
faded
but
look. I was embarrassed to drive it to work
there's no
meetings,
reason
spending
why
hundreds
these
every
kids
time
have
just
been
to keep
caught
it
up,
presentable.
in
Then
a
one day,
camping
I got a
situation
quote
out
that
there,
made me sick. The
especially when
detailer
they were
wanted
warned. The
$800
parents
for
should have
paint correction.
been called,
The
and these
diagnosis,
kids should have been
complete
taken
paint
to higher
restoration
ground.
for scratches that looked
So,
minor to me. I knew right away I couldn't
citizens of
keep
that
bleeding
time and
money
the
like
government
this.
know,
When I got home, I
just the coverage that we just saw,
researched
flooding
it.
goes on in that
Those
area.
minor
quite
scratches
frequently,
looked fixable. But I discovered the detailing industry
so
is
there
designed to
were
keep you
warning
coming
signs.
back every few
Normally
months.
Mother
I found
Nature
out
gives
professional detailers charge
some
premium
type of
prices for basic
sign
scratch
of
removal that
a
costs them
disaster
pennies to
before it
fix. I
happens.
felt sick about all the money
So,
I'd
how
thrown
many of you
away.
guys
I
are
threw
giving
out
your
my
opinions? Do
detailing
you
appointment
think
card on the
that
spot.
they
I
could
knew I needed a
have
real
government
solution that
did a
actually
better job
worked
at
long
warning the
term.
folks
A few
that
weeks later, I was at
that
my buddy's house for the
be in
game. His
town
10-year-old pickup
to
looked incredible,
have more
like it
time
just
to be
rolled
able
off the
to prepare
showroom floor. I asked him about it, and
themselves
he
to be
pulled
able
out
to
this small
escape and
spray
get out of
bottle.
there?
He told me, it's this nano car
Give me your
spray
opinion on
created
that.
by Mike, a car technician from Detroit. It uses nanotechnology to remove scratches
Let me
and
know, what
protect
do you
paint
think?
in
You know,
minutes.
what would
Even
you do in
professional
situations like
detailers
that?
are
You know,
secretly buying this stuff.
in
He
a
said he used to
situation like
spend
that, it should
$400+
almost be,
on
you know,
detailing every few months for
mandatory for
years.
everybody to have
Turned out it was just
at
throwing
least
money
a
away.
laugh
Once he
and
switched to this, his
you know,
truck
and
stayed showroom
life
perfect for months, and he'd
life
saved over
jackets, you know,
$2,000 already.
available at all
Apparently, this
times. You
guy
know what I
Mike
mean?
discovered the solution while working in Detroit
And you're living in
shops
a
and
town that's
realized how
close
much
to
regular guys like us were getting ripped off. His nanotechnology makes cars resistant to dirt and water while actually fixing the
but I'm not gonna
scratches
hold you
instead of
guys
just
up
covering them up.
longer. I just
My
want to
buddy let
check
me
in
try
and
his
chime in
bottle
and
on my
talk about
scratch
this
door
for a little
handle.
bit.
I sprayed it
You know,
on
see
and
what
watched the
you guys
scratches disappear.
what
No
have,
buffing, no special
you know, what
tools,
you thought
just
about this
gone.
situation.
Weeks later, my
You know,
car still looked
so I'm not gonna
flawless.
hold you
Even
guys any
after
longer.
driving through
I
construction
definitely will be
zones and
checking
parking
back
lots,
in
I
and
asked where to
keep
get
you
it.
guys
He
informed
said,
about
"You
this
can't
flood.
find it in
You know, it's
stores
your boy
because the
Dame
big
D, and I
detailing
am
chains
out.
are trying to shut Mike
Peace.
down, but it's still available on his website." He gave me a link with 50% off. I ordered 3 bottles immediately.